Welcome to the PAC Show, the show that brings you all the highlights, the lowlights, the reviews, the previews, the news, and the interviews from rugby here in Australia and around the world.
We lost every game.
Always need to be heard, these bastards.
What? Puncho! What is happening? Samu Krebi! Samu, how you doing, brother? What is happening?
He's in the car.
Yes, the boys. Thank you, everyone.
We're the best of friends.
Hilarious.
Yeah, one I won't remember. I will remember.
Yeah, we got him!
Can't be good at it. That's the one thing I'll leave you with.
Yeah, we're back, baby. Welcome to the PAC Rugby Show. That's right, it's Wednesday night at 6:30 p.m. right here in the DoubleTake studios. We're going to be bringing you all the rugby news and the highlights and everything that's going to get you barred up in excitement. Tonight we've got an absolutely massive guest in Richie Mo'unga, the All Blacks and Crusaders 10. But before we get to Richie, he's going to be on just in another minute or so. I need to introduce our panelists tonight because we've got some new guys in the seat. But my God, I am rock hard over here because, God, they are gorgeous. We've got Joey Lala once again, and Harry Higgins is joining him on the starters bench. Boys, how are we?
Good, thanks, mate.
Good to be here.
Doing good.
You guys are good. You look like a sexy little R&B group, eh? Ebony and Ivory.
Oh,
What?
yeah,
Like that? That was ridiculous. Oh, God. It was cool the first time, sad the second. Speaking of sad, on the bench, the Battlers bench, Big Fat Das and Ryan Farini, the kill switch. How are you, lads? How you feeling?
Sad.
Sad. No.
But glad to be here.
That's what I like to hear, boys.
I'm happy.
You're happy, friends. Yeah. Well, I'm happy you're happy, mate. And speaking of happy, I am absolutely over the moon to introduce our first guest this evening. You might know him as one of the top 3 shadow boxers in New Zealand, or you might know him as the All Blacks and Crusaders 10 and recent Centurion out of the Canterbury Crusaders. It's the man himself, Richie Mo'unga. Richie, how are you, brother?
Good evening, lads. Kia ora.
Mate,
Yeah,
awesome.
Bulanaka.
Thanks so much for joining us, Richie. It's been a huge, I'd say, a week and a half for you. We wanted to get you on last week, but you were just getting pulled in every direction, obviously, with your 100th game on the weekend just gone. Mate, 100 games for the Crusaders. Christchurch boy, born and bred. You must be absolutely chuffed.
Bro, I just been saying it all last week. Just how proud I am to have achieved such a huge milestone. To be the 24th Centurion in the Crusaders Rugby Club, a special moment for me and my family. And as soon as I became a Crusader, it was one thing I wanted to get ticked off. So to have it all done, it really was pretty special.
Well, I want to actually ask you, Richie. I mean, I touched on a Christchurch boy, born and bred, but we've got some footage here of you walking out in front of a packed stadium with your kids. You've got the schoolboys from your old school saying, yeah, absolutely pumped to be there. And then you walk out to a haka from your old school, St. Andrews. And of all the teams you're playing Moana Pacifica when you've got both Samoan and Tongan heritage. I mean, that is just fairy tale stuff right there, isn't it?
It's I'm proud to be from Christchurch. Whenever people ask me where I'm from, I say Christchurch, and they're like, "Are you actually from Christchurch? Aren't you from Auckland or Wellington?" Or so they're pretty surprised, an islander like me to be born here in Christchurch. But I'm so proud of my roots, where I'm from. I write UPL on my wrist every time I play, and that's the suburb that I'm from here in Christchurch. So to have my school doing the haka, my kids in my arms, my family behind me watching, and against a quality team like Moana, it just was a huge and special moment I'll never forget in my life.
On being a Crusader local, do you reckon you give us a little verse of Scribe Crusader?
Tee it up, Zach. Tee it up.
1, 2, yes. Scribble. Back, the fire from Hampshire. I'm from Christchurch, the place
Yeah, he did it. He's done it, baby.
I like that. We're actually getting Bucky on the side. Like, I feel that.
Everyone's nodding their head. That's a banger, man. That's a banger.
It's actually funny you did go along to that, Richie. So Knuckles, who's part of the Pig Athletic Club, lives in Christchurch, and he actually requested we ask that because he was like, I guarantee everyone from Christchurch, it's his theory that everyone from Christchurch knows every lyric to that song, and I think you've just proved it.
Except the Barlangis.
Describe himself as a proud Cantabrian, and he sent me a message before the game. He was actually at the game, so
love it.
He always messages saying, he wants to perform at one of the games, and from my early days being a Crusader supporter, that was the anthem and the album, The Crusader. So big ups to Scribble.
Good. Sick.
No, just a quick question, just around obviously last week.
Here
it's
we go.
obviously been.
Here he is.
No. I gotta go serious. Hey, this is a two-part question, all right? This is a two-part question. So the first one is this. This is a serious question, but I just wanted to know, what was the lead up like, from the community and from your family leading up to this, knowing that it was a big game for you. What was the lead up like leading it? Did it feel like a normal game? Did it feel like just a, everyday? Okay, like obviously. Going into it, did it feel normal to you, or did you know that this was a big monumental, occasion for you?
But let's just say, like after it finished, I said to my wife, I said, "Man, thank fuck that's over." Like it was just, it was just overwhelming, and all the cameras and stuff were around, and had cameras at home. Had people doing a doco that were here.
Yeah.
So it wasn't. I try to act like it was normal, but had to be realistic and sort of set the week around. This is what was happening.
Yeah. And
it was all nice and lovely, but I had to be real clear with, as soon as the whistle goes, all that's done, all the hype's done, and now I got to, do my job and let's play good footy, and we had to be on our A game to beat the Moana side.
Hey, I'll just quickly jump in there, Richie. Congrats on the 100, mate. It's an incredible feat, and mate, what a game to play and play the way you did. It was absolutely incredible. Love watching it for you. For me, mate, I'm coaching a couple of Colts down at West right now, and sort of for you going to that game, you came out and you looked like you were just playing, mate, because you loved it. What sort of processes do you go through, and how do you mentally prepare for when you come into those games? Because when you go out, you look so relaxed and so calm. What is it that you do to get yourself ready for a game like that?
Bro, it's just genuine prep. Like a lot of people say, a lot of footy players or athletes say genuine prep, but it really is that, to allow myself to, when the whistle blows on a Saturday or Friday, whatever, I'm locked in. I'm so clear with how our team wants to play, what my role is, and then I let instincts do the rest. And as a driver of the team, as a 10, a general, it's important that I know the basics and the strategy, what we want to do in each area of the field, so that come game time, I'm not worrying about that. I'm just playing off instinct. I've had games where you think too much, you try and overplay your hand.
Yeah.
And for me, I've found when I'm playing my best, it's all natural. I let go.
Absolutely.
If I see something, I do it. I back myself. I have a coach behind me and a team behind me that backs whatever decision I make. So it's important to get to that point at the end of the week, knowing that you put the book away and you just go and have some fun.
Mate, keep doing what you're doing, mate, because I love watching your footy, mate.
Yeah. Now you talk about
just don't do it for the All Blacks.
Don't do it against the Wallabies, please.
No, so hearing that, we hear that you're quite professional in everything that you do, and obviously with professionalism comes a bit of fame. Have you ever used your fame to get out of trouble?
This is so.
And if so, can you tell us the story around how you used your fame to get out of trouble?
It seems like you already have an answer for this.
What do you know that we don't?
Nah, I mean, not related.
Shit, cramping.
There's a few answers I won't say on here, but
Wait, you've used it that many times? No, I'm just kidding.
I only used it in Brizzy, to be honest.
Okay, so it happened in Brisbane. Okay.
I used it at the West Club the other week when I was saying how shocking the fields were.
Oh, that one hurt.
That's all right, mate. Wayno, we'll talk to Wayno.
We'll talk to Wayno. Wayne, is that you? Yeah.
It's the fake grass.
Yeah, up west. Hell yeah, brother.
Richie, mate, it seemed as though on your 100th game, every time you looked up to have to tackle someone, that 14 from the Drua, that stocky bloke, Tava Noai, the Sevu Reece plus 20 kilos bloke, every single tackle you had to do, you had to had to come across and belt him. Mate, has there ever been someone that you had to do a covered tackle on that you kind of went, my shoulder's a bit stingy, or my shin splints are flaring up, I don't really want to tackle this bloke?
It happens every week. Obviously, I'm not the man in stature. But, you know, as much as I can, I'd call the drift defense and I'd be like, drift, you know.
More onto my guy. Yeah.
I was doing that when Jimmy was running down, but I was actually running towards the sideline, so there was no one else to tackle. So,
oh, no.
It's me.
Tough going.
What was that experience like going to Fiji? Obviously, you got the L that weekend, but what's in the water over there when you go there and run out in the field against the Drua? And that intensity and the loudness of the crowd, like what they just obviously just go superhuman.
All right, it's like a performance like that against Crusaders is not surprising at all.
Yeah.
To me, like it's not surprising at all. Playing in Fiji against Drua, who was their first home game in Lautoka, which is even more special. And when they have performances like that, it's just I'm not surprised at all because of the caliber of players that they have, obviously the coaching that they have now, the direction that their club's going in. In a past life, I actually think I was Fijian, so like I kind of but like it's just awesome to see. Like they've given so much to world rugby in terms of every team in Europe. There's a Fijian on the field playing, Lucy or on the wing, and they're their best players. And it's just awesome to see a team like Drua performing like that, and like they've got more to give. Like they've got more to give. Like you see in their seven outfit at the moment, like every team they get puts out on a circuit, 3 or 4 of them are signed with French clubs. So. They're giving so much and they've got more to give, and to see them performing the way they are is just not surprising, but I'm also very happy for the ballers, for the drills.
I'll jump on the back of Darcy here, mate. Have you ever been on attack and sort of looked up and gone to someone, looked up and you look at the defense and you're looking to pass and then seen one of your teammates and been like, I'm just going to carry instead? If there was one person, who would it be?
Who's the Daewoo?
Who's the Freeney?
Bro, it's the name, honestly, man. Like I get myself in some sticky situations where boys are like, bro, just make a decision. Like you go to the line, you want to pass or you want to. But one person that I would give the ball away, like if he was in front of me, would be Shannon Frizzell. Like he has my number, right? Like we're best as a friend. But like he's such a prick when we play against him. Actually, Levi Almore got me good last week.
Now that he's thinking about it,
yeah. Who's someone that you
after the game? Yeah, he was a bit chuffed about that, I think.
Like, who's someone that you'd want to throw a hospital pass for? Like, just be like, you haven't done your job. I'll just throw you a hospital pass.
You can't say JT.
Smitty's the other. If there was one in our team, it would be Severis. I'd love to. I'd love to just chuck it up and under for him and just
give him a bit of a rib rattler. Richie, I just want to ask you, mate. So we had Big Nella, Tony Alatupo, on the show a few weeks ago, and obviously he came up through Sacred Heart there, and he was talking about being this superstar, this prospect the whole way through. You sort of have had a different career path. I mean, 3 years of first 15 at St Andrews is one thing, but you really had to bide your time through that NPC setup, and then by the time you got a full-time contract in 2015, you had Tom Taylor, Colin Slade, and Dan Carter in front of you. And it wasn't until all 3 of them pissed off at the end of the season you got a Guernsey, and you've kicked on since then. But I just want to get your thoughts on like how, like, is it difficult to try to bide your time through that system there, or like it must be really difficult sometimes to obviously have arguably the greatest rugby player of all time ahead of you, plus 2 other bona fide All Blacks in front of you. Like, take us through the process of having to sort of sit there on the bench and like watch day in, day out these guys ahead of you before you can really get an opportunity to shine?
Bro, like to me, from the perspective that I had when I was a bit younger, was like how lucky I was to be in that position. Like there was no negative spin to that. Like being in behind Carter, Colin Slade, Tyler Blundell, Tom Taylor, like it was like more like how lucky am I to be here learning from these guys. So it was more the perspective I had. Like I didn't make New Zealand secondary schools, and at the time I didn't make it. I got told over the phone, and I was crying in the car, man. Like it was like I thought to myself, like this is the end of my rugby career. Because usually what happens when you play school footy, the boys they kick on to secondary schools, and then they end up playing Super Rugby and they play for the All Blacks. Like that was the pathway. That's just what happened. All the great players that played in secondary schools. So it was hard for me to take, but you know, being from Christchurch, as I said, I was only ever going to play for the Crusaders, and it didn't matter how long it took. It didn't matter how hard the journey was ahead. I was so focused to becoming a Crusader, and things went my way. Like I waited a bit. I did my time.
Yeah.
I learned a whole lot, and then it just happened that all of them left at the same time, and it wasn't easy going. Even when I got the gig, like I had a terrible year in 2016. I started every game, but I was goal kicking like I was bloody Stevie Wonder. I didn't know what I was doing.
You and me both.
It was all over my head, and you know, through that tough time and that tough period, I learnt a lot, and I got to where I am now, which is where I knew I was going to be. You know, without sounding like an arrogant prick, like it just was the vision I had, and nothing was going to stop me to get here. So I was grateful for those hardships because it made me the man I am today.
Hell yeah. I just want to ask as well, Richie, who was the guy that made the secondary schools team ahead of you?
There was two. There was a Bodin Waka and Otere Black. So Otere playing in Japan at the moment, and
Not playing for the All Blacks though, so showed him.
Sucks to suck, bro.
They are players.
Yeah, bloody oath, mate. That's crazy. And also, I mean, announced a month or so ago, your coach of the past half a decade, if not more, when you consider his NPC involvement. Razor Robertson's been announced as the All Blacks coach post the Rugby World Cup. I mean, the ride that you and he have been on, you know, at the Saders and Canterbury NPC and all that sort of stuff is absolutely wild, and it looks like it's going to extend on further with the All Blacks. You must be absolutely chuffed for him.
Oh man, I'm so proud. Like obviously we've been through a lot, Canterbury and Crusaders, and you always sort of think it's one way. Like he's seen me progress as a player and as a human being, and he's seen me take my rugby to higher honours. That he was always so happy, you know, to see me do that, and then to see him get the recognition that he deserves, and to be in a position where he can have like huge influence. Like I'm just real proud, and he's more than capable to do. You know, he'll do whatever he wants with his team. He'll make this team an awesome team.
A couple of questions from the crowd. I think you already answered it before, but what does UPR stand for on your wristband?
It's just the suburb, Upper Riccarton. UPR.
And another one. Are you 676 or 685?
Say 679. Say 679.
6'9", mate.
You heard it here.
That's Cap because I play with his brother in Queensland and Tonga. Thank you very much.
Oh, sorry.
Richie, mate, before we get to the Fast Five questions, does Cody Taylor have a running tab with you where every try that you basically hand him when you draw and pass the last man, you look to your right and there's Cody Taylor running onto the ball? Does he owe you so many beers from all the tries you've just handed him?
That one up. That's ridiculous, eh? Like how often...
He's just there.
on my shoulder.
Holding with.
Yeah, okay.
I'll stick up for him.
Work smarter, not harder.
The disappointing thing, I can't finish them myself. I don't have the skills or the speed like some other boys to finish these tries off. So I'm always having a look inside.
Mate, I've just got 5 quick-fire questions where just say the answer, the first answer that comes to your mind. Mate, who's the worst player to room with?
George Bauer.
There you go, mate. If you could pick one sportsman from any other sport to come and play rugby with you at the Crusaders, who would it be? Any other sport?
Israel Adesanya.
Oh, got it.
Win the fight, that's for sure.
Biggest influence on your career so far?
My dad.
Love it, mate. If you had to get rid of one of these two, which one would it be? L&P or pineapple lumps?
Pineapple lumps.
Oh, straight up. Didn't even think about it. That's harsh. Mate, of these haircuts from over your career, you're currently rocking... Oh, put it up. You're currently... There we go. That's when you started. You're currently rocking I'd call it more of a business crop, but if we go through these ones... There we go. There's a bit of product in there.
Bit of Dax.
Here we go. There's the
Short back and sides.
Oh, this one.
I like that
think
one.
It's this one. Oh, there's a bit of volume at the back there. There we go.
Oh,
Look at
Which
that. Side profile.
Which one? If you could have one back right now, which one would it be?
Definitely the mullet.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, and also, and then this is the final one. I used to drive past a seafood place in Zilmia, and outside the shop was a sign that said, "Hey, bro, fresh kina." What is kina? Do you know what is kina or kina?
Keener, they're probably asking, are you keen or?
Is it an urchin thing? Is
Keen
that
on that.
sea urchin, kina?
You're talking to someone that doesn't eat any seafood or. I don't like mussels or oysters. But it is a delicacy here in New Zealand. Like it's if you're eating that, you're eating well, man.
Okay, all right, that's it.
Hell yeah.
Great questions.
You nailed it, Das. You rounded it out beautifully. Well done. Richie, mate, on behalf of everybody here at the PAC Rugby Show, thanks so much for dialing and having a yarn to us, especially after your 100th game, mate. It's absolutely awesome, and congratulations on that, and all the best for the All Blacks up until the World Cup, and then maybe die off a little bit, and then all the best after that. But, mate, thanks for joining us, brother.
Cheers, mate.
You fellas, appreciate you guys having me.
No, we
Big fan.
appreciate it.
We love you.
Bless you, Richie.
Thanks,
Richie Mo'unga, everybody. Yes! Richie Mo'unga.
Richie,
What a man.
I actually forgot J-Bor.
What was that?
Oh, I should have. Actually, it's probably best that he's not on at the moment. I put in a chat GPT. I've been doing a lot of, and I went Richie Mo'unga after he's played 200 games for the. That's what they threw out there.
Nigel Genia.
Right?
Nigel Genia.
Right. He's put on about 20 kilos, and then this one I then put 300 games. He's looking a bit better there. He's lost some weight. And then this one, I actually misspelled Richie Mo'unga, and then that popped up. So, it throws out different. So, to be fair, it's probably better than.
Those NFTs have gone through the roof.
They
Yeah,
are.
man. Yeah, no wonder they've crashed.
Next-
Chat GPT was made for you, big fat ass. It is so good, man. Oh, man. It's good to be back. Oh, bless you, big fat Das. Mate, it is interesting to see Richie's thoughts on Razor Robertson, man. But his career is absolutely awesome, man. But so good to have Richie on the blower. Now, one thing I'm sure all our viewers at home have been wondering is where's Dos been? He was obviously up in Townsville to start the season off, and he was only here for a couple of weeks. And unfortunately, Dos isn't going to be able to join us for the remainder of the season. So he's had to go back home to PNG and take care of a bit of business and stuff like that. But he will be back next year, bigger and better. So we do have another special guest joining us on the blower right now, and he is going to be back in taking over Doss's seat for the remainder of the season, just keeping it warm for him. But we are very proud to announce that this man, Gojira himself out of Japan, Eddie Quirk, will be joining the PAC Rugby Show for the remainder of the season. Quirky, how are you, brother?
Yeah, good boys. G'day. How we doing?
We're living the dream, Quirky. How you doing, man? This is so good, man. We are so
Mate,
pumped. So pumped.
Yeah, awesome. It's massive honour. Obviously, look, you guys have just had Richie on, so you've gone from a guy that's very well decorated and one of the most, the highest winning probably percentages in rugby to one of the biggest losing percentages in world rugby. So look, I've had that feeling for a long time. Redheads get picked last, so I'm sort of used to that. So
we're going to have two on the panel soon.
Yeah.
Well, look, I've gone Battler's bench once to starting member, friend. So sorry about that one, brother.
I'm a loser too, man. A fat loser too.
No, thanks, guys. It's going to be awesome.
Mate, it's going to be an absolute privilege having you here, Quirky. But just to touch on, what have you been up to this season? You've only got a couple rounds left, don't you, before you wrap it up?
Yeah, we do. We've got had a pretty tough season. Had a good start to the season, and then just kept that losing record rocking over here for the last few weeks. So it's good. It's good. It's been the team's done a lot better, and look, we're body's a bit bashed up, so looking forward to a good off season and stacking on a few kegs with those boys on the Battlers bench and having some good yarns.
I can give you some diet tips, mate. KFC.
Spring rolls.
Yeah, everything.
Spring rolls.
Quirky, I want to ask you, mate, who does the decorating at your crib there,
behind
brother?
him.
It is red hot.
What's the symbolism?
Looks like the poker machines in bloody
channeling
regatta.
the inner tiger, or what is it?
Crouching
Very nice.
Dragon.
This is a traditional tatami room, so I pretty much get nude and shadow box in here. But no, this is I would take you around, but there's a few things happening in here. But maybe a traditional tatami room, and I knocked these up, and I invited some of the Japanese boys over, and they pretty much said, "Oh, they're pretty shit. They're not really traditional." I was like, "Yeah, that's all good, no worries."
Silly round.
What is a tatami room? Like, what is the purpose of a traditional tatami room?
Feng Shui.
You probably know more than me, mate. But
from the looks of it, maybe shoot budget pornos.
A corkish floor, and you get these sort of thin tatami mattresses, and so I had the oldies over here a couple of weeks, and I thought I'd give them the full blow Japanese experience and tatami mat, and I made about 3 days in, the old boys just into me, cursing my name, because I've got this sort of king mattress in my room, and he was on this like paper thin tatami mat in the other room, and he's not the most culturally sound bloke out there.
But Aussie culture.
He wasn't too happy on the plane home.
Get me out of here.
Yeah, pretty much. This shit, I want out.
Well, Quirky, Big Fat Dar said he's really excited for you to rock up. Said he had a question for you.
Mate, are you keen to be? Are you going to be entering back into the club Brisbane Club Footy comp when you come back here, or let's think about that in the future, or no?
Look, I'll probably roll the arm over here again for another year or two, if it allows me. But yeah, that's something what I wanted to do, sort of pretty much what Benny Martin and Dossie did, and interject myself back into club footy, and probably won't be anywhere else but down at Tigerland, and enjoying myself on the back end and do a bit of coaching and stuff like that. So look, if the Reds want to chuck on the blower, then I'll jump off the seat.
I love it.
There it is.
Hell yeah!
But so we'll see. I'll get home and I'll keep fit, and come back here, and I just want to keep strapping the boots on until the wheels fall off, pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah!
I'm with you, brother.
And then you've got Friday night footy back here, you can fall back into as well. The Longhorns, mate.
Yeah, mate. Toothless Tigers, I'll be there.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. So also, obviously, when you come back home, we're going to try and get you involved in a bit of content. You're going to be here every night, every Wednesday night in the studio, just throwing barbs at everybody. But Das did a content piece the other week down at Norse. Was it the Northies Burger?
Northies Burger.
Yeah, the Northies Burger, Quirky. And he actually says it's better than a Tiger Burger. Thoughts?
Oh, I don't even know if Das has been down the east, but yeah, seems like he knows his stuff from the saddle he's rocking. But
I'll go again. I'll go again. I'll
try another one
3 or 4 times. You're forcing my hand.
mate, the Tiger Burger as well known around. Obviously, all the clubs as well that through East Guts, and yeah, mate, it was all time content, and I think there needs to be more of that kind of stuff throughout clubland.
Bless you, Quirky, mate. We can't wait to get
Tiger
you in the
Burger
mixer. It's going to be absolutely awesome. But Quirky, mate, thanks very much for dialing in. We appreciate you jumping on, and mate, what is it? 2 or so weeks you're going to be joining us in the studio, you reckon?
Yeah, pretty much. So we got the local derby against the old car mechanics. We got Mazda, and then we'll shit up to Tokyo and play the Corita. They've got the best name out there. They're called the Gushers. The water gush. So we'll play them in Tokyo, and then I'll come back and tie up some loose ends, and then you'll send me on the seat, and we'll be good to go.
Gushing. Love it.
I am so pumped, mate. We're gushing over here. We can't wait for you to rock up, brother. Quirky, thanks very much. We'll see you in a couple of weeks, brother.
Love you.
Too easy, boys.
Love you,
Cheers.
Quirky. And Quirk, everybody. Latest member of the PAC Rugby show.
There you go.
Oh, mate.
Holy
Mate.
God.
Where do they come up with their names, mate? Do they just pick their name out of a hat?
It's awesome, but it is the names they've got over there are
Would have been
absolutely
after
red
one of
hot,
those
man.
game shows.
The Gushers! Mate, it's
Late
going to
night
be a
in
good
Chelmsford.
50-50 split of gingers on the PAC Rugby show panel. So, mate,
going
it's
on.
going to be red
Sunscreen
hot.
bill's going to go through the roof.
Get burnt from the studio lights. All right, now let's quickly get into just a couple of PAC news things. So we saw a couple of weeks ago Joseph Su'ali'i coming over, and with the obviously we know Max Jorgensen was being chased by Rugby League, but signed with Rugby Australia. But Joey, out of the King's School down in Sydney, if everybody was saying that Max Jorgensen was the man last year, they're saying Hadley Tonga was the one just behind him, and he signed a 3-year deal to stay with Rugby Australia, starting in the Sevens program. In his final year, he's allowed to go into the Waratahs extended squad. This is massive for rugby in Australia.
Yeah. No, I think this is really good incentive for him, especially starting out in the Sevens program. I know that starting out in the Sevens program, it's a good foundation and what professionalism is about in terms of a Super Rugby contract. And the fact that he's doing it this way, I think we've seen a couple of other players go through the Sevens pathway as well. And so I think this will be good exposure for him to have an understanding of what that will be like in a professional environment.
Bloody oath, mate. It's absolutely awesome. And then another one, Friends, I know you love the Super W game. We finally saw the Western Force getting their first win since 2019 over the Melbourne Rebels in the Super W. Like, this is it. We were harping on at the start of the season that you're going to start seeing the Western Force and the Rebels coming up, but this is huge. First win in 4 years.
Massive, mate. Yeah, and they've got a couple of girls from New Zealand and stuff over there. So, yeah, obviously seeing that quality come into it and bolster them up a bit and get the W against the Rebels.
Mate, absolutely red hot, man. And it's exciting to see the women's game growing so rapidly, because you see it with the women in the Aussie Sevens and so on, and it's absolutely red hot. So that's all we wanted to touch on PAC News, just a couple of things, nothing too major this week. Now it is time for the Battlers Bench. Big Fat Das and Friends, what have you got for us?
What do we got, friends? Nah, just joking. Boys, wait,
Look at deer in headlights.
You literally turned around like,
Hospital pass?
I don't want to.
What we will actually do, this is a quick bit of trivia, right? All we're going to do, a little bit of trivia. What we're going to do...
I don't want to lose this one.
We got some 13 Angry Scorpions Carnage Pure Evil hot sauce, and we got a cheeseburger. Just a quick bit of trivia. What we're going to do, the loser has to eat this, okay?
Damn it.
Oh, no.
Congratulations, Harry, it's you.
That's Carolina Reaper hot sauce, isn't it?
No,
Sure.
It's going to come out the other end like lava.
Okay. So guys,
Put more on there, Das.
Like
Douse it, baby.
I'm not eating it. All right, guys. We're doing this bit of trivia because we're officially halfway through this Super Rugby.
Do you know the answers already?
Pacifica 2023. Don't look at that. 2023 season. 40 games in, guys. Just some quick questions. If you get one of the questions right, you do not have to
Eat the Reaper.
Yeah.
Eat the Reaper. Good
So
one.
is this all of us?
Yep.
Okay, done.
All four of us.
So it's like pass the cheeseburger, and if you lose...
Ben,
you
I'm
know,
actually
then-
shaking here.
Okay.
I'm not.
How do we announce we want to answer it? Do we just say our name
Hands
or
up.
something?
Or beep.
Say your
One
name.
person at a
Say your
time.
name.
Say your name.
Your name is your buzzer.
Say my name.
Your name's your buzzer. Here we go.
Okay.
Who was the leading try scorer of Super Rugby 2023?
You don't even know your name.
J-Ball. Lester Fine Ganuku.
No.
Ryan, what's his name? Falafanga.
Nope.
Dan Coles.
Nope.
Don't know. Anyway.
Sean Stevenson.
Sean
7
Stevenson.
tries.
No idea.
Who scored?
Who was it?
Sean Stevenson.
Sean Stevenson.
Who scored the first points of Super Rugby?
Oh, me, J-Ball. Richie Mo'unga, drop goal against the Chiefs.
Richie Mo'unga, drop goal.
Well done.
Yes!
And this is meant to be the tiebreaker because I thought you guys would get that one. Who has... I have the top 10 Super Rugby players of all... As in top 10 number of games played in Super Rugby of all time.
Sean Hardman.
Harry.
Sure.
Harry, can you say one on the list? Quick.
Richie McCall.
Ryan. George Gregan.
Richie McCall's not on the list.
Oh!
What?
He's not in the top 10.
He's not.
No.
Freeney.
Ryan. George Gregan.
Super Rugby didn't even exist then, yeah?
No, George Gregan. Joey, you just got to get this.
Just say a player who's
Just say a
played the
player.
most games.
Hooper.
He's not in the top 10.
J-Ball.
J-Wall.
Is Sam Whitelock in there?
I think this list is made up.
Who loses?
This list is bullshit.
No.
Brody Retallick.
Brody Retallick, yes. Wyatt Crockett, 202. Liam Messam, 182. Stephen Moore, 177.
I reckon Richie's done more than those guys.
All right, well,
Who loses?
we need more questions there.
Richie Mo'unga. I should have said
Let's just leave this one.
Richie's
to
old.
it.
No.
I'll take it.
Here we go. Here we go.
You have to eat the whole thing, friends. You have to eat the whole thing.
Respectfully.
You
What
have
a
to eat the whole
gentleman.
thing.
What a gent.
Holy.
Oh, God, that looks good.
Nathan Sharp, 162.
Look at his eyes.
Is that actually hot?
No.
Proper hot.
Well,
Carolina Reaper is
what-
2 million Scoville units.
whilst this is happening, J-Ball, back to you.
Oh, thanks.
Back to you in the studio.
That round's out. How you holding up, friends? You're doing all right. You must be hungry.
I'm going to get some macas on the way home.
Is it hot?
Yeah. Who fuck?
Holy cunt. Bye, sweet.
He's got the hiccups.
Is it that bad? Bruv.
Yep.
Oh,
Look at that.
Well
Look at
done.
that. Look at that professional.
Well done.
For free.
What a gentleman.
What a guy,
Warm
man.
beer I had before I came.
Warm beers. How good. Dave Hemway would be proud.
Yeah. Carry on, sorry.
Nick Russ would be good.
He's gone.
Sweating, bro.
That's our first walk off.
Holy.
That was sick.
Oh, bro.
So good.
Man, he handled that like a trooper.
To be honest,
I was like, I guess it's not that hot.
to be fair, he jumped on that grenade like a bloody hero, guys.
Yeah.
Like a bloody hero.
I was like a deer in headlights. There's no way I was going near that. I was just looking at it like,
Absolutely not. I
I was
struggle with
like,
pepper.
what question? He goes, I'll do it. I go,
I reckon
oh,
J-
well, don't drink water with it. Water makes it worse, Fred. Oh,
That's
what
good.
a soldier.
How's
If
it,
any-
how
honestly.
do you feel, friends?
Everything's on fire. I don't talk anymore.
Honestly, that's what a hero looks like, though. That's what a hero looks like.
hero. First Richie, then Quirky. Now
Now, Fred. What a hero, man.
A couple of heroes on today.
I'm going to get red hair after this.
Alrighty. That was good stuff, big fat Das.
Thank
good.
you.
On your feet, very pragmatic. Good little Battlers Bench segment. Alrighty, so this week we've got so much footy we've got to get through, and obviously we don't have regular starters, and it's been a bit chaotic. So in lieu of getting our tips in this week, we do have them behind the scenes so we can keep a tally. But whilst we've got these two blokes here, especially in the starters bench, we want to get their perspective on a few things. And just give us a red hot take, and let's actually start with Friends. Give us a red hot take from this weekend of footy.
Pardon the pun.
Red hot.
Waratahs to beat the Reds.
Ooh, in
What
Super W.
Super W.
W.
Yeah.
Explain.
Just
Floor's
because-
yours, mate.
No, the Waratahs, they're keen, they're prepared.
I just want to see you battle through this.
And, I just think they're going to get the W. They're just Too well drilled.
Just
How good's
violins
just
or
a-
something.
Just sucking through his teeth.
Oh, bro.
Just going to get the W. Big Fat Darcy.
Speaking of that noise, what about Harry Higgins? Like when he's like,
Sorry.
and like Richie's
It's
talking,
emphysema.
and I'm like, what is that noise? I saw Joey looking around going, what's that noise? You look over,
No, I was dead set looking around. I was like, is there an asthmatic pug dog in this building? I was like,
it was Harry.
all I could hear is.
I've got the my big,
Your red hot take from this weekend, Big Fat
my
Darcy.
red hot take is that chili sauce, but also, mate, Hunter Wildfires to go again.
3-0. 3-0.
They're playing
Over Sydney Uni away.
I just wanna see
They're
those-
Sydney Uni at home.
I just want to see those uni blokes. Just
Mate, the
lose.
Wildfire have been absolutely awesome.
Big
Red hot,
bullet.
pardon the pun.
Red hot.
Mate, they've been fantastic.
Also, just a quick question: is it sacrilegious that the Shoot Shield boys played over Easter, or should we stop it, or should Brisbane stop eating Easter eggs and just go back to business and
They're
playing footy?
blaspheming dogs,
They're
mate.
blaspheming. I thought as much, but I thought I'd throw it out there.
Yeah, blasphemous.
Right.
Joey Lala.
Yes.
Get off Tinder, brother.
Grinder.
Sorry. Your red hot take from this weekend's footy action.
Super Rugby, I've gone with Moana Pacifica over the Reds. Now, I love the Reds.
Yeah.
Love the Reds, but I just reckon the fact that they're in Samoa, they're at home ground.
They're due.
Yeah, they're due for a big win. So I reckon it's going to be a red hot cracker of a game, and the similar, I suppose, environment to what the Drua were when they had the Crusaders at home. So it's going to be a cracker.
Couple of
of a game.
fucking chair. Who's going on there, bro?
Hey, give us a big chehu. Give us a big chehu.
No, I'm good. Doesn't work with me, bro.
Classic
Very
hockey.
too white. Very too white.
Higgs.
Mate, yeah, I'll take it back to Clubland QPR. We got the Dogs versus Uni back at the club championship round. Oh, sorry, the premiership playoff again. So yeah, I'll pick the Dogs again over the Uni.
Big win, you reckon?
Always.
Well, then it's not a hot take. If it's always, then it's not. But Harry,
But-
I back you, mate.
He's
Thank
backing it
you.
in.
Yeah.
And, mate, and let's actually say Harry Higgins recently announced as the 2023 club captain for the Doggies. A round of applause.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're going to do a bit better job than 2019, you hope?
Yeah, hopefully a bit better than 2019.
I don't know. Club night was good fun.
I don't remember any of that.
Were you
Yeah,
there?
I was hosting, and I think I was with you the night before, and I was like, he's not going to be
First time
there.
the club
And he
captain
was.
has not spoken ever during
Yeah,
trophy
and
night.
sat in the corner with his sunnies on, just going.
Backwards.
They weren't my sunnies. But anyway.
Anyway, all right, let's plow ahead before we get
J-Ball,
into trouble.
Your hot take, mate.
I don't have red hot takes anymore, mate. I'm just going ahead with the show. All right, now it's
It
time.
was a test and you passed.
Thank you very much. Now it's time for our rugby segment. So plenty of footy over the weekend. Friends, let's start with yours, and it was Tate McDermott. Couldn't be anyone else.
Mate, what a response. What a response. Eddie playing a bit of emotional terrorism with Tate's emotions, and he just let the playing do the talking. So Tate McDermott, here we are.
Well, you weren't the only one though either, though, friends. I think Joey Lala and Harry Higgins both said Tate McDermott. He was absolutely on fire in a losing side.
He played with so much more purpose, a lot more mongrel. He was just like, and that is that direct response from Eddie.
Yeah.
As you
Barry,
said, mate,
right?
Eddie Jones knows how to get the best out of people, and I
Mate,
think he's playing a few mind games.
For a guy to come back when you get dropped like that, it's pretty tough, especially when you're going for your dreams and everything like that for the World Cup coming into it.
Yeah.
For him to turn up and show out like that, it just shows how much character he's got as a bloke on the field and off the field, and that's the sort of things you need to see. The Reds having a dig and a guy like that leading the front. Not the biggest bloke on the field, but mate, does he play like he's got the hardest size of
Bloody
10
oath,
blokes
and
out
against
there,
the
so.
two blokes who made it in the squad ahead of him. Big Fat Darce, your rugby from the weekend just gone, bruv.
Royner.
Roygard.
That's the one. I don't know. The halfback from the Canes, mate. He had an awesome game about 2 or 3 weeks ago as well. This one he made 2 or 3 giant breaks. His D, his mongrel, just yet another halfback that the All Blacks seem to keep popping up.
Yeah.
Good bill there.
And for me, he's one of those quieter guys. Well, not quiet because he's a bit of a mongrel, but he's one of those guys that that do not get that much praise. And he's kind of running that big forward pack of theirs, and he's running their back line.
Huge fan of his D.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
Canes
that-
are playing well, and he's playing
Yeah.
very well also.
Got him. Oh, there's that pug dog again.
That was me, my bad.
Oh, sorry.
Joey, your rugby, Geordie Pataya.
Yeah, my rugby was Geordie Bataya. We heard Namani speak about it on the weekend on Stan TV, but just his effort, you can't fault it. And I think he's showing everybody why he deserves to be in that squad, in the Wallaby squad. But not only that, but he throws his body on the line, into contact, and even this one, bang. Oof. One more time. Oof. That's one of those.
Chahoo.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I wanted. Ladies and gentlemen. That's what I wanted.
That was
But
nice.
yeah, just his ability. And you know what the scary thing is? He's still young, and we haven't seen him reach his ceiling yet. And there's so much more to his footy, and he's going to develop into.
He's finally having a lucky season for him because,
Don't say
where's the wood?
Him throwing, just knock on all wood at the moment, guys. Him throwing his body into those tackles after the ball. In seasons gone, just something small like that, he does an ankle, but at the moment, he's just killing it, and he's going from strength to strength.
Bloody oath. Has first night on the panel, and you've decided to throw the rule book out the window because what do you say?
Mate, look, I've rewatched the game, and I will pick out somebody from them.
Well, thanks very much for letting us know live on air. But you chose the
Hey, that's
Blues,
what we
but
do.
specifically you chose someone, I
The
guess.
team.
Who was it?
Dalton Papali'i.
Great. Well, he's not in any of these highlights. Thanks for that, Has.
Look, mate, either way, you don't need the highlights to know the guy's a good player, and he's out there doing the dirty work. He's just running hard, tackling hard, and mate, you just love to see it. So, and also, I reckon they're 9. What's his name? Finlay.
Christie.
Unbelievable, mate.
Finlay
Another
Quirk.
9 in the game that's just destroying it. So, mate, good on the Blues. And I love watching them play footy because, mate, it's like backyard rugby. Popping the ball to the left. I think there was a replay here where it goes prop to prop, you put it through in the back, and they end up scoring with the prop in the middle of the field. So, mate, it's just great rugby to see, and you just love seeing the boys having a bit of fun.
So you said you finally picked one and you ended up picking 2. Well
So,
done, Has.
I
You're on
vote for
fire
Blues.
tonight, brother. Appreciate it.
Rules are for fools.
I like this guy.
All right, well, that rounds out this week's episode of the PAC Rugby Show. It's been an absolute belter. Very special thanks, Zachy Boy and the 1s and 2s, as per usual, from DoubleTake Sports. Absolutely crushing
Gorgeous.
it. Harry Higgins and Joey Lala, you can see them on tour taking
Side
their
Bendoo.
boy band on the road, Ebony and Ivory. Catch them at any RSL around Australia. They'll sing to you whether you want to or not, and then Big Fat
Clothing
Das and
optional.
Freens absolutely crushing it on the Battlers bench tonight. Well done, boys. How's the mouth holding up there, Freens? You're all
Nothing. Yep, it's going to come out
Let
the
that
other
laugh
end
do.
of pretty bad.
good? Yeah, you're going to be battling, bro.
I got a plastic bag if you want to sit on it. And you want
He's going to need it.
Pop it under your toot. for the drive
All
home.
right, everyone. Thanks very much for tuning in. And again, stay safe this weekend. Enjoy your footy, and we'll see you next week. Ciao.
Thank you.